Awkward moment. Famous journalist asked sensitive question that sent lost for words Boris crazy. Boris Johnson accused top TV journalist Robert Peston of completely mischaracterizing events held at Downing Street last Christmas during a feisty exchange at the latest government press conference. The ITV host asked Mr. Johnson and his top medical advisors how they felt about reports and photos of festive parties held at Number 10 and Conservative HQ, as the Prime Minister fielded questions on Omicron. Mr. Peston also challenged Mr. Johnson if he would welcome a police investigation into the gatherings held while there were strict bans on households mixing. The Prime Minister fired back, "I just say to you, Robert, I think you completely mischaracterize the events in this place." Mr. Johnson claimed his staff had worked blindingly hard for a very long time in cooperation with people around government and across the whole of public services to do our very best to keep people safe. Referring to the festive gatherings currently being probed by top civil servant Simon Case, the PM added, "We'll of course hear from the Cabinet Secretary about what he believes has happened, and if the police think there's anything to follow up I think they will." Asked if he was confident that the public would listen to his COVID instructions despite polls showing damaged trust, Mr. Johnson replied, "I follow the rules. Everybody across politics follow the rules." He added, "But what I've noticed is the British public in response to what I said on Sunday have really got the point, that this wave is coming in, the numbers, getting boosters, are extraordinary." Earlier on Wednesday, Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer said Mr. Johnson had lost the trust of the public and his own MPs after almost 100 Tories voted against his Plan B measures. "We can't go on with a Prime Minister who is too weak to lead," said Sir Keir at PMQs, challenging Mr. Johnson to take time this Christmas to look in the mirror and ask himself whether he has the trust and authority to lead this country. Mr. Johnson declined to impose any new formal restrictions on Wednesday, but he used his press conference to urge people to cut back on Christmas partying, telling them to think carefully before going out during the festive season. England's Chief Medical Officer Professor Chris Whitty went further, saying, "Don't mix with people you don't have to for either work or family things that really matter to you." The Chief Medical Officer also told the Downing Street briefing said Omicron was moving at an absolutely phenomenal pace, adding that a large rise in hospitalisation could be seen after Christmas. As the UK recorded 78,610 new COVID cases, the highest seen during the pandemic, Professor Whitty said, "I'm afraid we have to be realistic that records will be broken a lot over the next few weeks." The Prime Minister will give an address from 10 Downing Street tonight as Omicron spreads throughout the country. This comes after news that Communities Secretary Michael Gove will chair a COBRA meeting with the devolved administrations on Wednesday afternoon. Today the UK recorded the highest number of COVID cases since the pandemic started with 78,610 testing positive. This is a jump of over 20,000 as yesterday 53,593 tested positive. The COBRA meeting will take place at around 5 p.m. with representatives of the Scottish and Welsh governments and the Northern Ireland Executive. Further coronavirus restrictions may potentially be needed before Christmas to curb the spread of Omicron, Scotland's Deputy First Minister John Swinney warned. It comes as a health expert advised the country needs to be ready for the worst-case scenario. Businesses are being urged to put measures in place to step up protections against the virus. We will bring you live updates here before, during and after the press conference at 5 p.m. Scientists studying 78,000 cases of the Omicron variant of COVID in South Africa have revealed the common symptoms. Experts in the UK have already identified that Omicron tends to have very different symptoms from other variants of the virus.